name's Donna Wayman. I am currently Chief Operating Officer at Zurich Legacy Solutions. I studied drama and English at Birmingham University, graduating in 2006, I think. Yes, that sounds about right. And I moved into insurance and financial services straight from university as part of the graduate scheme, and I've worked in there for 16 years. Like I say, my current role is Chief Operating Officer for one of our business units. Much of my day is, or my life, is understanding a business problem or desire, something they want to do differently or better, or something they want to change. And my job is about helping them establish the steps they need to take in order to achieve that change. So it could be as simple as something like, I want to introduce a new IT system to allow us to, a new piece of IT kit or equipment, and what needs to happen to make that happen. And my job's about bringing all the skills together. It might be IT skills, it might be training, it might be, data skills, to allow us to take all the right steps to make sure that change happens. So my job's just around how do we help businesses and how do we help Zurich achieve what it wants to achieve and deliver what it needs to deliver by bringing all those different skills and experiences together and organising them in a way that gets them to the logical outcome that we want to get to. It was interesting because when I started on the graduate scheme, like say in the mid 2000s, it was quite a mixed graduate scheme. So we had, probably a third women and 2/3 men, but we were working in a fairly male-dominated environment with some really excellent female senior role models, and I was really lucky enough to go and work with a few of those really early on in my career, and it really shaped the way I thought and the way what I was exposed to and how I engaged with that very male-dominated industry. So I think I was really lucky to have good mentorship and good leadership that showed me how to maneuver around that in the early days of my career. I think it was also interesting because I was as young as I could possibly be to go into that corporate world. I hadn't taken a gap year, and I'd gone straight from finishing uni straight in. So I think back in those days that was quite unusual, whereas now when we have apprentices and people that are early in careers, actually you see a bit more variety. So I think a lot of the conversations early on were surprised around my age and my ability to match my age, and how that kind of was maybe not what they usually experience or what they'd expected. I think I've seen a massive shift in the last 16 years in just industry and culturally how we strive for diversity and how we want to make more inclusive workplaces, and it's one of the things I've loved seeing that grow in Zurich and in the organisation, kind of completely focused on taking each of those individual steps across all of those diversity and inclusion lenses, and I've loved getting involved in it and seeing that grow. And I think I've seen a massive shift. So we've got, a really mixed and diverse executive team in the UK, which I think is really interesting and it's not what you would have had 16 years ago, but really there's so many more female role models out there for you to look at and to understand and to get support from. I also think with the rise of hybrid working and flexible working, it really has opened the kind of gates for women and women who are caregivers, for aging parents or for children, to actually balance their career and their home life in a way that might not have been so possible. 16 years ago, I never worked from home. It was like an absolute exception. Whereas now, when you can find that balance, actually, it does help, and it does mean that people are better able to balance the different elements of their life. And I think really encourages that diversity in the workplace, and gets more women feeling they can do more senior roles.